I know this banana costume seems ridiculous, but what's even more ridiculous is what you're looking here at on the screen. These guys grew their traffic from 0 to 22,000 a month without spending $1 on ads. How? Well, they are ranking first on Google and ranking first on ChatGPT. That's simple. It is free traffic. And so let me show you exactly what they're doing in 4 simple steps. First things first is you connect your CMS. That takes 2 seconds. Once that's done, the AI will come up with keywords that is going to produce content around. Then based off of those keywords, it will automatically generate and publish articles to your site. It writes all this content, even adds in-article relevant videos to what your content is about, adds links to your products, adds links to other sources, adds in-article images, all this stuff done for you with AI. And then it generates a bunch of these and automatically publishes them to your site. And this content is ready to rank on Google and get all this traffic for you, not just on Google search, but also being mentioned and cited on LLMs like ChatGPT. If you want to give it a go, just go to arvo.com, sign up for free, connect your website, add your URL, and then just let the AI do all the work for you. It is literally 100% hands off. Yes, 100% hands off. And I know I'm in different clothes, but I want to break down in a bit more detail exactly how they're achieving these insane numbers, okay? So hopefully by the end of this video, you have some ideas on how you can apply what they're doing to your own business, okay? So as you can see, this is a screenshot directly from Ahrefs. They're pulling in almost 23,000 in monthly organic search traffic, worth around 4K a month. And I've explained this before, but how do you calculate this? Like how do they know that this much in traffic is worth at least 4K? It's worth a lot more. But it's basically if you were a competitor of theirs, okay, if you were to want to compete for all the keywords they rank for, okay, thus getting all this traffic as well, right? You want to run Google ads, for this. So when someone searches up for something on Google, right? When someone searches up for one of these keywords on Google, one of these 77,000 keywords on Google, and they are ranking right here. If you want to outrank them with some Google ads, right? For all these keywords to get all this traffic, you'd have to pay Google at least 4K a month on ads to get this same traffic. So it's pretty cool that they're getting 4K a month worth in traffic for free, just off of ranking on Google. And by the way, this doesn't take into account all their success with AI citation. So their brand is being cited and mentioned all across the board, be it Google's AI reviews, Perplexity, Gemini, Copilot, and also ChatGPT, and only growing. And we've talked about this before, right? There's a correlation, okay, correlation between how well you perform on the classic Google search, Google and Bing, and how well you perform, I guess, or how well your site, or how many times your cited or mentioned in these LLMs. Again, correlation, not causation. So it doesn't mean that because this is great right here that you'll rank high on Google, on LLMs. And Ahrefs made a study on this, and I made a video on this in the past, which basically super short, one third of the sites that are mentioned and cited here on LLMs get zero traffic from Google search, meaning that even if your site doesn't rank, even if it gets zero traffic on Google search or Bing, right, it can still get traffic or be mentioned and cited on these LLMs, which is pretty cool, which tells me that you don't necessarily need to perform well on Google because robots can still pick up info that's on like the 10th page. And let me just give you an example of what I mean, right? I always do this, but if we compare Google with Bing, the classic search versus the LLM search, right, where we include ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, whatever, right? These work like a funnel, right? Well, these work like the classic, right? You search for something, okay? It gives you an article, a blog post, maybe a listicle. It gives you a YouTube video. It gives you a Reddit forum, right? And you'd go in and you read through the blog post, you'd watch through the YouTube video, and you'd skim to the Reddit comments, okay? Now with LLMs, you prompt it with something and it gives you an answer, and you prompt it back and forth down the funnel until the answer you have is good enough for whatever it is that you're looking for, okay? Now, all that this is doing, when you prompt it with something, all it's doing is it's going on Google and Bing to some extent and clicking it and reading through the article itself, watching the video, skimming through the Reddit comments. It does all this work that you used to do manually, it does it automatically for you in just a few seconds, and it puts all the info it found in a little nice text box for you to read. And if you prompt it again back and forth, it's all it's doing. It's going in and reading the stuff. So it doesn't matter if you're ranking 100th, right? If the AI feels like the page ranking 100th has good enough content that can satisfy the intent of your prompt, well, it will make sure it mentions it and it cites that page and the info on that page right here, the answer. So even if you're ranking 100th and no actual human goes through and reads it, doesn't matter, because AI can go to it, right? The robots will go to it and will display that information to humans. So at the end of the day, humans still read it, even though it was AI that looked for that info on the 100th page and gave it to the human. Hopefully that made sense. My point is that you don't necessarily need to rank on Google. It does help, but you don't necessarily need it, because 1/3 of the pages that are cited right here don't even get any search traffic from Google. Hopefully that made sense. Now, I think I mentioned this before. They're they basically are a bunch of gold stores in France, and they also sell gold online on multiple countries, but most of their traffic comes from France, okay, as you hear. Now they do also do Italy, Spain, mostly Europe, and the US as well. And how they do this is because, and I have to hide a bunch of stuff right here, but they translate all their content into multiple languages. So when they put out a blog post, when they put out a listicle, a news piece, a page, doesn't matter. They just automatically translate that page into multiple languages, making it so stuff like this can happen, where they put an effort once writing the content and they get a bunch of traffic from Italian-speaking people, Spanish, English speakers, Egyptians, Germans, Russians, Holland, or I guess Netherlands, whichever one you call it, Mexico, Belgium, Indians, Brazilians, and Portuguese as well. So they're pulling in a bunch of these secondary markets, which the traffic of all these secondary markets adds up to even be higher than the main one. Regardless, it adds up to a lot. Now, let me show you an example of one thing they're doing. So again, you know that they're basically a bunch of gold stores in France. Now they made this blog post, so I'll have to hide a bunch of things, but it basically goes over how much this specific coin of gold was worth back then. Now, why are they producing this type of content? Well, it's because, and this page ranks and gets a bunch of traffic, by the way. This is in English, so this is targeting the English markets, okay? Why are they producing this type of content? Well, because you have to look at the search intent, right? A piece of content that talks about how much a certain gold coin was worth in however long ago, right, is only going to rank for keywords such as how much is this coin worth? How much was this coin worth? Coin value. So who do you think is searching for this stuff? Yeah, sure, some of the people searching for this stuff will be people just curious about it, but some of them might be collectors. Some of them might be interested in actually buying gold. So they're pulling in traffic into their sales funnel from a simple blog post, a simple informational blog post that's being actively cited and actively ranking on Google for these keywords, right? People are getting introduced to the brand. They also have a lead magnet on the page where they can capture people's emails. They also have a bunch of banners where they can sell them the actual gold and get introduced to the brand. And that's how they're pulling in, all these people and having them buy. And that's why the traffic is valuable, right? That's why keywords such as, and I can't really reveal the keyword, and there's many more, keywords such as this specific coin value or where to buy this specific coin. They're super high buying intent keywords. And you know this because if you were to want to pay Google Ads to bid on these same keywords, because multiple people, multiple companies are bidding on this keyword because it's a high value keyword, right? The value just goes up for the bids. That's how you know that these keywords have value, right? And that's just another proof that they're ranking for high buying intent keywords because of this right here. And the thought process behind this is that reason why this is worth so much is because Google works on a bidding system. If you have random Google Ads, right, I bid $1 to bet on this keyword. If you bid 2, you just show up above me, right? And if you go do this is forever, right? That's how we know, and Google knows how valuable a keyword is. It's because companies are willing to bid more and more and more to get the clicks for those keywords. Hopefully that made sense. And so that's exactly what they're doing. They're producing informational-based content about potential keywords that they think people searching for those keywords can be led to buying, in this case, physical gold, okay? That's what they're doing. Now, I mentioned translation, and this is very important. By the way, again, they're using Arvo for this. And let me just show you first here a quick output of how this would look like for their site. Let me just go here. First, I'm going to create a knowledge base. I'm going to call it My Gold Website Knowledge Base. Okay, create knowledge base. And what this is basically, it will allow me to upload a bunch of brand assets, so text, files, PDF documents, and my website as well. And when the AI is writing the content, it won't write AI generic type of content. It will write brand tailored content that works with my own brand's tone of voice and brand's mannerisms. Okay, so for this video's sake, I won't do it, but what I would do from the beginning and what they did was upload a bunch of information to give our AI as much context as possible. Then, of course, as you saw before, they connected our site, and for some of the blog posts, they're running on a full automation mode. So the The blog is running on autopilot, so it's generating and publishing content automatically based off of a feed. The feed being a list of keywords. So they basically put in their site right here. They add a bunch of keywords. So just do goldsite.com. What keywords I want to rank for? Buy gold online, and let's see, gold bars or gold coins for sale. Then I'll add a bunch of competitors right here. So mygoldcompetitor1.com, mygoldSiteCompetitor2.com. US, English. So what this will do, if I hit create a feed, it will give me a list of keywords that I should be targeting based on what my site is, what it talks about, the niche it is, what it ranks for, my main 2 seed keywords, my competitors, what's on their sites, the keywords they rank for, my target country and target language. So it'll give me a bunch of like a tailored list of keywords that I should be producing content for. I hit create feed, and then again, by the way, like I'll just show you this right here, gardening site, right? Are all these keywords you should be producing content for? No, this is the output of the tool, right? Don't just follow this blindly. Have some critical thinking, okay? Just take that into account. But basically, it will give you a list of keywords, which then I can take in uploading to the AI, so that it can automatically be generating and publishing content based off of that feed, as you see here. It takes in from a feed, generates it, and publishes it. And there's multiple types, which I'll go over that right now. Regardless, the feeds can be any of this stuff right here. Now, if there were, for example, a YouTuber making videos off of gold, I'll just add a YouTube channel feed right here. So let me actually just see here what's out there in terms of content for YouTube, for gold on YouTube. So gold, let me just see what we have right here. Gold explain, gold, gold coins. Let's see here. Is there any YouTuber out here producing content about gold coins? Let's assume that these guys produced content. Yeah, they sort of do produce content about precious metals. So I could just take in their domain right here. Their URL from YouTube. I can just put it right here. I can hit create a feed, and when they publish a new video on gold or coins, whatever, the AI will take this into account, taking the whole video and convert the info on the video into a blog post and post it to my site. And if you're wondering if that stuff works and if it ranks, well, it does. If you go to arvo.com/case studies, and I know I reference this one a lot, but there was this French guy who took a site from almost 0 to almost 6K a month in traffic just off of doing this. He took a bunch of YouTube videos that were written, or excuse me, that were in English, and he converted them into blog posts using Arvo, okay? And he took these blog posts to almost 6K a month in traffic. Okay, little caveat, he not only converted the medium of consumption from video to written format, we also converted the language from English to French. So yes, this works. So that's pretty cool. So these guys didn't do it, but I'm saying is that they could diversify their traffic acquisitions through converting, not the acquisition, but they could diversify their traffic play here by converting content that's already out there, it's available in video format, into written format that's still valuable as well for the end user. So they could do that as well. But let me show you an example on how I were to do this right here. For example, gold coins. Let me just see gold coins, special gold coins. I want to do this live. Let's see here. Okay, let's just get this right here. And let's assume we want to write a piece of content for this. So let's just do lunar year of the horse gold coin. Let's just do this. Actually, let's just do gold coin. And then the title could be how much is the lunar year of the horse gold coin worth? We could do this. Okay. Boom. Add keywords. And so again, taking into account that this can all be automated, I'm just doing this like manually right here. Let me just try and generate this article so you guys can see what the output of the content will look like and how valuable can it actually be. So let me just wait a few seconds for this to load. I'll be right back. I guess while this loads, I can just show you like a couple of examples. So this is one that I took a YouTube video and it did an article based off of that video. There you go. This is one that I think it's a news article about Tesla versus BYD. And because it is a news article, it takes in, it gives you, at the end, gives you the sources where it found the info from. This is just a regular article, okay? Top 5 best fishing kayaks with table of contents, proper construction, in-article images, in-article videos that are relevant to what the content is about. So this is again an article about fishing kayaks, and of course the video is about a specific fishing kayak. There you go. So all this done for you with internal links to other pages on your site, external links, and a bunch more cool stuff. And I can just open this up again while this other one loads. If there's something I don't like, I just hit here revision, excuse me, and I can, for example, add a bunch of links right here, and the AI will read through the whole thing, find the best places where you can add links to, and I can just boom, 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 add these links if I want, right? Or for example, if I don't like this, like so, I can maybe make this a table if I feel like my users will take in this info best with the table format. I can just do this. Now in this case, it doesn't make much sense, but yeah, you get the point. I can ask AI I can add custom prompts. I can change up the images if I'd like. I can say, for example, add a dog to the boat, right? Boom. And the AI will do its best to take into account the scenery itself, the context of the image, and add a dog to, in this case, it wasn't a boat, it was actually a kayak, which is different. But it will do all this for you in case you want to do it, in case you want to change things. The output of the AI is not by any means final. There you go. I can accept or decline this. So it looks a bit more fun. Or if I don't just speak with the article as a whole, and I can say, okay, add a paragraph that solely talks about kayaking in sea water versus salt water. Make sure to add a table comparing both, and whatever, right? Mention my brand, whatever.com. So you can basically just hit enter and the AI will just change the article as a whole, add the paragraph, do whatever it wants. It's just as if you were speaking with ChatGPT. So I have to give it a bit more context right here, but it will change things around super quickly. So point being is that the output of the AI isn't final. Now, let me just go over the AI article that we did. So there you go. Open this up right here. Let's see what it did for us. Open this up. So how much is a lunar year of the Ors 26 UK 1 Oz gold coin worth? Image of the coin, right? Table of contents, key takeaway. So all this structure with images, all done for us in a pretty long manner, okay, with images. In this one, I don't think it has videos or links because I don't have it enabled, but you can easily enable this stuff in the configuration, basically enabling formatting, special things, structuring, call to action, the size of the article, if you want to make it longer, make it shorter, call to actions. So at the end, it has a call to action to where you can buy the coin, for example, internal linking, external linking. So I have this not set up properly, so that's why I didn't do it very well. Images and videos as well, you can enable this stuff, which wasn't enabled before. So point being is that you can basically customize the full extent of this, or you can even create custom templates, which I won't dive deep right here, but basically you have the templates for the blog articles, the news articles, the YouTube to blog post templates, and then you can just create any custom template you want. Say you find, for example, a competitor who has this great template of a piece of content on their site, you can just steal their template and put it in here and just produce all your content based off of this template, or any future content just based off of always the dedicated template you create for it, which is pretty powerful. So that's another note on that. And so I know this sounds simple. It is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. It's just about producing content, putting the content out there, and making sure that content is actually valuable. Now, can this AI produce shit quality content? 100%. So can humans. It's not about who or what produces the content. It's about how well, in the end, is the content delivering value to the end user. And so I urge you, if you're using any AI, ARV or not, edit the content. Like, use our AI editor to edit the content. You can even if you don't want to use our content writer, well, just copy in your content from your site, edit right here, and then you can create a draft based off of existing content on any page on your site. In this case, I added my homepage, so it won't make any much sense, but you can upload your content right here. You can delete this, just upload your content right here, and use our in-article editor to edit your content, making it a bit better, okay? So that's basically it. And if you want to automate things, well, you can just click here and just enable the auto blog. Now, I recommend if you're doing auto blogs, try it first for international niches or international languages. So try it first for non-English speaking markets, Portuguese, Spanish, Greek, Japanese, whatever. Reason why is because they're way less competitive, and most of the times there's not enough content out there in these non-English speaking markets to satisfy the whole demand that they have. So it is insanely quick how you can achieve success, and by success I mean traffic to your business, to more sales, in these international based markets by producing high quality content in bulk, fully automated. Just imagine you can have it be a feed off of a YouTube feed of like this Brazilian guy who makes content about whichever niche it is. You just take his content, and when he uploads a video every single week, right, we take it, the content, we repurpose it, and you create a written format of that content, right? Eventually that content is going to be picked up by LLMs, right? It's going to rank on ChatGPT. It's also going to rank on Google. All this on autopilot. It is insane. You can do it off of news. By the way, speaking of news, right, there was also this guy here who took a site from 0 to 10K a month right here in 24 hours just producing news-based content. You can watch it right here if you want. It is insane how quickly you can do this. By the way, I think this is for, this is for the English niche as well, but there's one which is for the Danish niche, and it just works so much faster. So that's all they did. Arvo is not a magic tool, but it just helps you do all this stuff way faster. So yeah, that's it. Give it a go, check it out. And if you made it this far, if you don't actually use Arvo, I'll let you know on something that I don't usually tell people publicly, which is the black card. If you go to arvo.com/black card, it's going to be the very first link in the description. You get access to Arvo, the software that I just showed you, but the business account, fully unlocked. Also, every single month, I'll build a link for you, a DR40 plus backlink every single month to your site. These domains have 1,000 plus, in organic search traffic. So they're actually quality backlinks, okay? Again, a fully unlocked business account. You also get 2,000 lifetime credits. These are lifetime, these never expire, so they'll never go away from your account. Also, if you have a friend's site, I can also build a DR40 plus backlink to the friend's site. I'll send you an in-depth GEO audit. Basically, I'll just taking over your brand and tell you, hey, listen, I'll record a video and send it over to you, a 15-minute video going over, hey, here's what I think you should do to position your brand a bit better on these LLMs, and how can we basically make sure that your brand has the highest chances and opportunities of showing up on these LLMs. And then hopefully, with all this stuff, with the link building, with full access to the software and all this other stuff, and in the recommendations, you can become the next case study and win $1,000, because if you do become the next case study and show up here, you'll get $1,000, which is pretty cool, which basically makes this basically free. So yeah, I'll leave this as a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.